Traders, do you want to know how I made 3% profit in March? Then let me show you exactly how. Welcome to Simply Forex, Trader Tom here, and I'm going to share with you every single trade that I took in March, all right? So you can understand how we made this 3% profit. I'm going to show you an example of a winning trade and a typical winning setup, so stay tuned for that. And I'm also going to show you a losing trade because we learn so much more from a losing trade. We're also going to look at March, from a fundamental macroeconomic point of view, because market conditions have been tricky, and we're going to understand why that is and how it's led into April. All right, so stay tuned for all of that, guys. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. So let's start by looking at my statistics, right? So as you can see, guys, from the table, we had 30 trades, we had 16 winning trades, 30 losing trades, and one that I closed early at break even. All right, now that equated to a win percentage of 55.2%, and that equated to a profit of 3%. Now, this all means nothing unless you know how I trade, right? So let me show you. So we're going to start by looking at every single trade that I took. So let's take a look at the VIP Discord. So this is the VIP Discord, and this is where I put all of my trades, right? This was the first trade, March 3rd. The first trade of March was Euro Pound sell trade. There's my entry, there's my stop loss, there's my take profit. And we usually let some profits run and trail our stop. And as you can see, the first trade of the month, we hit take profit and we let 20% run. All right, so Euro Pound was the first trade of the month. But as you can see, guys, I put all of my trades in here. Winners, losers, if I close them early, whatever it might be, they are all in here. And it's important to point out that these are all based on simple price action. And I'm going to show you how I use simple price action to find high probability trades in the market, right? Now, if we just scroll down and find a winning trade, right? So here's oil, okay? This was on the 26th of March. This was a West Texan oil buy trade. This was my entry. This was my stop loss. This was my take profit. And on this occasion, I only let 10% run, but we can understand that in a minute as I will show you the trade. So let me show you exactly what a winning setup looks like. Now, if we go back to the 26th of March, right, let's use the back to the future button and let's go back in time, okay? Let's get rid of this, okay? Now, as you can see, I use the daily for my direction, okay? So I'm gonna take you through every step. So as you can see on the day chart, we was in this downtrend, okay? And then eventually we broke to the upside, right? So this level through here broke. We're now getting higher lows, higher highs, right? Simple price action. You need to understand structure and trend, right? So we're in an uptrend. We broke a key piece of resistance, and we have all this room to move into back up to this 70 level. All right, this was my target up here. Okay, so trend and structure, tick, support and resistance, tick, it broke one level of resistance and we have room to the next level of resistance. And then finally candlesticks as well. So we had a bullish candlestick here. This is a doji, really, but we had a bullish candlestick followed by a wick that bounced off of this level of support. All right, so I was still willing to take buys back up to this 70 level. And then all we do, guys, is once you get your daily direction and it ticks all the boxes and we know we can trade it, then I just drop down to the H4 to find an entry. But again, all I'm doing is looking for those things. I'm looking for trend and structure. I'm looking at support and resistance. I'm looking at candlesticks, and I'm looking at value, right? Does the trade have room to move into? And the answer to all of those things was yes, right? Now, if we play this along, guys, right, I actually traded this the following day. So if we just play it along a couple of candles, right? So I actually started trading this because of this candle here. Now, this is a wonderful entry candle. So let's go through the checklist, right? The price action checklist. We're in an uptrend, right? Tick, okay? We're at a nice level of support. Tick. Remember, we want to buy this. We've got a nice bullish candle, right? This candle right here that I've already highlighted. Nice big bullish wick. Let me just get this out of the way, right? Nice big bullish wick, as you can see. Tick, right? And value. Yes, we have all this room to move into back up to here, right? And that 70 level that I spoke about. So tick, 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 right? And that's all I'm doing, guys, is just keep going through my strategy, keep going through my checklist. You'll notice here we actually got a slight retrace, and I actually entered in here, right? And started buying from here. I put my stop loss below here, and then my first target was back up to here, right? Once I get 1:1, I'm going to take 80%, 90% profit. I actually took 90% profit at this level, right? At 1:1, which is why you will see on my results that I had 16 winning trades, 13 losing trades. And that meant 3% profit, because typically I risk one to make one, right? Although I do let some profits run. And there's the trade, right? And I let some profits run up to this 70 level, and then I closed the trade finally. So let's just play it along and see how this plays out. Now, we know it's a winning trade. We got a nice just bullish candle after bullish candle, and then eventually it come up to this 70 level. All right, and it's as simple as that, guys, right? Daily gives you direction, and H4 trend is what I want to be with to enter. But I'm still looking for candles, support and resistance, etc. All right, so this was an example of a nice trade. All right, so let's come out of here now. And let's go back to the VIP Discord where I put all of my trades. Okay, and as you can see, let's find a losing trade. Okay, there's one here. So pound New Zealand dollar sell. The entry was this, stop loss that, take profit, right? And you can see I hit stop loss. Now, we're going to learn more from this trade than we did the winning trade, right? You don't learn anything from a winning trade, to be honest, right? But let's take a look at this losing trade. And before we look at this losing trade, guys, if you could please subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Please don't forget to join our trading community, right? You can speak to like-minded traders, share knowledge, share trades, share ideas. So please join our free Discord channel. Also, guys, please don't forget to check out our website, as that has all our premium trading education, right? We've got the Simply Forex course, we've got the VIP Discord, which I'm showing you now, and we've got the mentorship program where I coach you one-on-one. All right, so check it all out. It's all in the links below. Also, guys, please don't forget to leave a comment and also leave a question if you need help with anything to do with trading. Right, pound New Zealand dollar sells. So what was the date? 27th of March. Okay, so let's find pound New Zealand dollar and let's go to the 27th of March. So if we go to the day chart, okay, and I remember this quite vividly, right? So let's go back here. Now, this is the day chart, guys, and this was the candle of the 26th, sorry, and I took the trade on the 27th, yeah? So that's what I do every day, right? I take the analysis from the day chart. So again, let's do the checklist. So we're in a downtrend, right? We're getting lower highs potentially, lower lows, right? We're in a downtrend. I also like to be below the moving average 20 for sells, and we just about are, right? So trend tick, right? Now, this is where you look at your losing trades, and some things come to light, and I want to share these with you, right? So if you remember the rest of my checklist, support and resistance was the next one. And, this is support, right? And price is bouncing off of support, right? But because we were in this downtrend, I thought price would make it back down to the lows. That's what you get for thinking. Don't think, right? Just trade your strategy. So that was my first mistake, right? This is support, right? So although we had trend and structure tick, support and resistance was a little bit dubious. Also, the candle, right? So that's the next part. Is this bearish enough to start selling? Now, the body of the candle broke the low of that candle. So I do like that. But again, look at this wick, right? So the candlestick was a little bit dubious, right? Is there value? I would say yes, there is, right? We've got potentially all this room back down to these daily lows, right? So value was good. But straight away, guys, right, you could start seeing, in hindsight, my checklist was a little bit not 10 out of 10, shall we say. Yeah, whereas that oil trade was like tick, tick, tick. Okay. So the daily, I was aggressive with a sell trade, right? It didn't tick all of the boxes. But let's carry this on. Remember, daily's just for direction. I still need a H4 setup, right? So if we go down to the H4 now, right, all I'm looking for, if we play this along, all I'm looking for is the next bearish candle, right? So if we just play this along, they're not bearish enough, bang, right? Let's go back a candle. Okay. So this for me was bearish enough. Okay. Now you've got to bear in mind, right? H4, I'm still looking for the same things, right? H4, we're in a downtrend tick. Support and resistance, we're bouncing off a key resistance level, tick. Candlestick bearish, tick, right? Value, yeah, there's lots of room to move into back down to those lows, right? So this was tick, tick, tick on the H4, right? So although the daily chart was, let's say, didn't tick all the boxes, the H4 did, right? And yeah, literally entered in here, started selling, stop loss above here, and was looking to take price down to here. Get my 1:1, take some profit, and leave some profit to run, right? Now, as you just saw, we played it along, right? And I pretty much got taken out straight away, right? Now, you have to ask yourself if losing trades, did I do much wrong? You have to question your performance. And I would say my analysis of the daily chart fell short, right? Not the analysis, but it didn't tick enough boxes. But the H4 chart ticked them all. There was also one other thing I want to show you here as well, and it's the H1 chart. Because there was this level that just never broke, right? We got that nice H4 bearish candle. So again, in hindsight, we could have waited for a break of this key support level, right? That would have been another piece of confluence to take this trade. Now, it's all very well in hindsight, but I'm just showing you things that I think about post-trade, right? That would have confirmed the sell trade, okay? All right, so let's go back to the H4. And there we are, guys. I got stopped out. And then now I'm not interested in sells at all, right? Yeah, we're in an uptrend. We're getting higher lows, higher highs, stopped out. Okay. So there's two examples, one winning example, one losing example. But the important thing here is you can see how I approach the markets the same way every day. I'm applying basic price action principles to the trade in order for me to find high probability trades. And I do the same thing day in, day out. Those two trades were a replica of each other, although the losing trade didn't tick enough boxes on the day chart. Okay. Now, this, so my 3% was also against the backdrop of a very difficult economic backdrop, right? It's been a tricky market conditions, and let's just understand those as well as we reflect back on March. Now, global stock markets have dropped significantly, right, led by the US and by big tech in particular, right? There are some outperforming sectors like defensive stocks and healthcare, but the indices were dropping like stones, right? And this dragged European and Asian stocks down as well. Treasury yields rose over the course of March, but then dropped sharply because of Trump's tariffs, right? And all of this is just leading to volatility, right? Gold was, a classic safe haven, and that reached all-time highs. And the Fed held interest rates, which also helped that. And that also helped the dollar weaken generally. And these themes are what we're seeing carried on into April, right? April has started even more volatile because we've had Trump's tariffs, China's reaction, and it's even more of a shit show right now. But just keep trading your system, right? Don't try and block all this noise out. Stick to your system, and that way you will gather consistency in your trading and confidence in your trading and belief that your system plays out over time. All right, so there you go, guys. That was my March, plus 3% profit. If you want to join our VIP Discord or any of our other mediums, then please check out the links below, and I'll see you next time for What the F Happened.